Bobby here. Sheets is in the city today. I have just returned from a baseball game, and I am going to be going out. It's actually my birthday, so I'm going to be going out to dinner pretty soon, or to an early late lunch, and then an early dinner. So I'm not going to be around for live. I'm not going to be playing tonight, but I thought I'd do a quick look over this slate just so we could talk through it. Anybody has any questions or thoughts, feel free to pop in. Again, like I said, I won't be around later. I'm not going to be playing myself, but I'm just going to go through each game and talk through what I like the most or what's standing out. All right. There is absolutely nothing on the Clippers side that I could talk myself into. If I had to do anything, it would probably be Zubac or take a wild gamble on Mo Bamba, but nothing that actually seems like it makes sense right now. If Norman Powell is out, we can have a different conversation about, the other guards, the Duns, the Porters. But I think if Powell's in, I think I'm probably just off this game in general, or sorry, the Clippers side of this game. On the other side, I don't have an issue with the Conley thing. I think there might be other stuff that opens up a little later that you might like a little bit better for value. I always like Naz Reid, and it's always confusing to me when he's getting ownership because it's always the same play, basically. And I always love that play for tournaments. If other value opens up and he gets forgotten about, especially, I would go out of my way to try to play him. I'm also good with Edwards. I think all these guys are totally reasonable, but nobody who stands out as being quite a priority for me in this one. Orlando at Brooklyn. On the Orlando side, again, nothing really jumping out from a projection standpoint. I'm going to go out and say that I would play Franz tonight. I love Franz. Everybody knows it. I talk about it all the time, and I think the projection's a little bit low on him. I think it's an interesting play comparing with Edwards, for example. I think they're pretty similar plays, in my opinion, until we get our other guys back, our Paolo back in a little bit. But everybody knows I'm a huge Franz guy, so always high on Franz. He's the one who really I would go out of my way to play at low ownership and get a little bit different, high price, but I think it's kind of an interesting play. Ben Simmons is my favorite play from Brooklyn. You have so many questionables. It's really hard to figure this one out this far in advance. I have a feeling there's going to be some pretty glaring value when we get the word on Finney Smith, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, Jalen Wilson. Any of those guys are out, and all these guys open up. So I just had Brooklyn as a team that I would focus on, but again, we're waiting on a lot of injury news that probably won't come in for another couple hours. Toronto at Miami. Jacoby Walter standing out as a 3K play. I'm just going to see where Goldie has him and Sheets have him. Pretty much everybody's in agreement. So they've got him around, the over 6X, 3K. Now, there aren't that many guys out there. I think there's definitely room for a bust. If the ownership gets, above 60%, maybe you could start talking about fading it. But right now, it seems like the most obvious that piece of value on the slate. No issue with Scotty Barnes, but not getting to anything else. And even that is not a priority in any way for me. I like the value, and that's pretty much it over there. Bam, Hero, Butler. Okay. I think that getting low ownership on Butler is not a bad idea. It's not the kind of matchup I usually want to play him, but I just think it's an interesting time to take a stab at him when he and Hero are basically the same price and Hero's getting all the ownership. I understand why, but the projection, what is it, 3.5 point difference, 4 point difference for them projection wise? I think it's worth maybe taking a little bit of a gamble here if you wanted to get or Toronto is a very poor defensive team, but I think the best play for them is for Miami is probably Bam. Still have trouble with Kevin Love because of the minutes, but projecting a guy at 17 minutes and playing him with some ownership doesn't feel great. But we know Kevin Love can get there in short minutes. He's one of the best in the league at it. So I wouldn't mind if you wanted to go that direction. I just didn't find it myself. Love Boston. Love this matchup. I think this is a game you could try and get some stacking exposure to. I have Tatum. I have Brown ahead of Tatum tonight, but he's obviously cheaper. So I would actually put Jaylen Brown as a priority. It's such a great matchup. And I think Drew Holiday or Pritchard are both reasonable. And I actually, the projections and don't like them quite as much as I do. But right now, I think Brown and White are my two favorites. Just love this matchup. Those teams, those guys in those fast-paced matchups tend to be the ones that benefit the most. So I really like both Brown and White the best. But I wouldn't mind even playing 2 or 3 Celtics. Nobody's standing up from a projection standpoint for the Bulls, but you got to imagine if this game stays close, it's likely that one of the big, I can't say the big 3, but one of their big 3, I guess big 4 now, LaVine, Vooch, Giddey, and White. I think I like LaVine the best, but I'm again, none of them are priorities, but I think I would go out of my way to maybe play these guys. And we've got White questionable and Jalen Smith questionable. Either of those guys are out. We're looking at a game stack, I think, with Chicago and Boston. Detroit, Indiana, another game that you could talk about stacking, but nobody who stands out from a projection standpoint at the moment. Obviously, if Cade is out, we're playing Ivy, and we're not even thinking about it. If Tobias Harris is out, maybe we play beef stew. That's Isaiah Stewart. I wouldn't mind that at all. But as of right now, currently not getting to anything as it's currently constructed for Detroit. Indiana, Quentin Jackson. This feels like again, I think there's a lot of volatility to this play. I still like it because I think the ceiling is pretty high there. And again, you have Detroit as a core defensive team. Really like Siakam as well. And if I think you can make a really strong case for the entire starting five. And honestly, I think you could throw McConnell into the mix. Really like all these guys. I would focus a lot of my attention on this Boston, Chicago, and Detroit, Indiana game. But we just have to hear about Cunningham. That's really going to make the big difference for Detroit, along with Tobias Harris. OKC and LA should be a good game. My Lakers. Maybe I'll peek at that later when I'm at my little birthday dinner. And again, from a DFS standpoint, one thing I would say is the Lakers cannot guard point guards and they don't guard wings very well. So if you want to talk Jalen Williams or Shea, Jalen Williams, look at this 9,200. Boy, what a huge leap. Really without Chet, it's just what it is. I have no issue with Shea or Jalen Williams, but neither of them are priorities for me. I like Anthony Davis tonight, and I like that he's getting low ownership. I think that's a good place to spend money. You've got Hartenstein, but like it's not somebody I'm afraid of playing Davis against. I like Davis quite a bit tonight. Love Dalton Connect. We know I'm a Dalton Connect guy, and I think we're gonna start seeing him play more and more minutes. A lot of those Rudy minutes are gonna shift towards him, so I'm in on Connect tonight as well. Sacramento and Portland. Isaac Jones is the other glaring piece of value, the 6X at 3K. I like that play, but I think Malik Monk is the one I'm absolutely prioritizing here. And I am totally good with Fox and Sabonis with no DeRozan. I think I would give a slight edge to Fox in this particular matchup. But you know what, Sabonis? You know what? Maybe we go Sabonis. Sabonis is going back home. I do like Davis, and that's the same center spot. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Davis-Sabonis mix. I also like De'Aaron Fox in this matchup. A really good matchup against Portland here. So want to get some exposure to this one for sure. On the Portland side, I think we're looking at, again, I think I might just even, other than seeing if Brooklyn ends up with a bunch of value, I think I might wait for the 8 o'clock games if I was playing tonight. Love Deni Avdija here. We have Scoot questionable and Banton questionable. If either of those guys are out, play the other one and throw some Simons in the mix. These games between Boston, Chicago, the Indiana side of the Indy, Detroit, some of the Lakers, and then Sacramento and Portland, that's sort of where I would have my core today. Would be built through those guys. I am putting up my core right now, as you guys saw me do it here for everybody who's a site member. As I said, I won't release my exposures because I'm not playing myself. But I wish all of you luck, and let's get after it. Good luck to everybody tonight. Hope you guys crush it. Win something on my birthday for me. Only thing I played today was a little football, and it's not off to a great start, so we'll see. Anyway, we appreciate you guys all being a member of True DFS. Please give us a like on the way out, and thanks for checking in with us. We'll be back Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for football, and good luck.